Well, hello and welcome to a short presentation of the Skyway Invest Group or SWIG opportunity. Hard times today, guys. Rocketing cost of living, job insecurity, tax creep, and it feels like everyone can charge a fee for something and get away with it. That's why so many people are on the lookout for a way out, a way to either supplement, replace, or exceed their income so they can finally escape the 9-to-5 grind. Now more than ever, it's actually critical that you take control of your finances, both making what you do earn work for you better and learn how to generate multiple passive income streams to ultimately become a professional investor and live a life of freedom. I many people have aspirations of a better future. They, stare up at their desk and stare into the sky and think, wow, what if? What if I had a new car? What if I could help the kids with their education? What if I could work from home instead of commuting to the office every day for an hour? All right, what if I could live on the beach or a different location in a nicer place? What if I could travel the world and see different cultures, or just to help their kids as they're growing up? Right? Can SWIG change your life? Now, I'm here to tell you it absolutely can, and I'm here to give you examples on how it can. So who am I? My name's Andrew Twelftree. I am a manager within the Skyway Invest Group. I'm a private investor both inside and outside of SWIG. I'm a full-time online marketer and networker, but I never used to be. I used to be a civil engineer working on hot, dusty construction sites in Adelaide, Australia. Now, I was the on-site boss. I had to be there to unlock the gate at 6:30 in the morning, and I was there after everyone had left at 6:30 at night tidying up paperwork. So 12 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. I felt like my boss owned me. I pretty quickly learned to resent the time I spent there instead of home with the family, whereas I should have been. Right, so I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, but it's a bit different these days. I'm actually an Australian, if I can't tell from my accent, but I live in the Philippines by choice. Right, there's a few lifestyle shots there. That's our land up in the mountain. If only we could get internet, we'd build a house there in a heartbeat. Look how beautiful that is. We were recently over in Malaysia for an event. This is us in front of the Petronas Towers, and that's where I got to meet Andre for the first time. Now, we were over in Belarus last week, so we got to spend a week with him with some intensive training, which we'll share a little bit further on. Now, I'm also a cryptocurrency enthusiast. I love my different coins, obviously Bitcoin being the major one. It's doing a run up at the moment. So I also am a Skyway technology co-owner, which is one of three things we're going to talk to you about today. The Skyway technology and how you can become a co-owner as well. The Academy of a Private Investor, which is an education course teaching you how to become a professional investor, and SWIG, or Skyway Invest Group, which is us. Now, we are in the middle at the moment of our Crypto Unit Club launch. Now, if you like the sound of ongoing, increasing monthly passive income, hang around to the end of the presentation, because this is what we've got our hands on, and this is why we're also bouncing off the walls excited. But for now, I need to do a compliance. SWIG are not registered brokers or advisors. Consider information offered as recommendation or personal advice. All business opportunities come with risks, so please be responsible for your own results. Figures offered are for illustrative purposes only. We do not offer financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and seek confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor for compliance in your country. Now, that being said, let me introduce you to a true genius. He is the winner of the Golden Chariot Award in 2017 for the most economically friendly transport system. He's also the winner of the Slovakia International Peace Prize in 2018. His name is Dr. Anatoly Yanitsky. He is the Skyway technology designer. He is an engineer with 40 years experience. He's an author of over 150 inventions, has over 100 patents worldwide, and coincidentally enough, the United Nations actually gave him a $1 million grant to prove the validity of the system, which he did, and that's why we're here today. Now, if you want to know more about him, go to his blog, yanitsky.com. There is years worth of articles with great insight and information. So let's have a very quick look at the technology that we have. In development, we've got the automated container moving solution and the cold storage. We'll show you this. It's being developed in Dubai as we speak. We have existing the freight pods and the ore carrying pods. Now, the mining companies are itching for this technology because it can be run on solar power. There is millions of dollars in fuel savings alone, never alone the positive environmental impact. The Unibike is Skyway's little baby. It's the first prototype they built. Actually had the opportunity to sit in one of these last week. We have the Unimobile, which is an electric car for disabled people, where the chair actually becomes the driver's seat, so it's a lot more convenient. We've got the Uniwind, which is a chairlift for mountainous areas. We've got the Unibus. We have several models of this, ranging up to the 3-segment Unibus. It's about the same size as a bus or a tram. Adelaide, Australia is my hometown. We actually have trams that you catch from the medium strip. They move off with traffic, stop at traffic lights, and basically get in the way and slow everything down. Imagine still catching the Skyway from the medium strip, but it zooms off to its next destination from a platform, so it's not being impeded in any way whatsoever. The added advantage is beneath it, you actually gain back a lane of traffic, which makes everything else move faster as well. The next one is our high-speed model. This one runs up to 500 kilometres an hour. It's our luxury model. Obviously, further models will be developed and certified that carry a lot more people, so we can commercialise it. With this technology, we can build what's called a linear city. You know, a satellite city, 200 or 300 kilometres away from a major metropolitan centre, built with green, living, economic-friendly housing. We'll expand on that further on in. And we've also got the 1.5 tonne carrying capacity drone. Now, all of this technology, when Skyway first started, they had a vision of a Unibike, a Unibus, but not what we ended up with, one of these stand-up pods and a couple of freight models. All of this additional technology has been developed as a bonus for the co-owners. Now, I pose this question. In the future, will you just be a passenger or will you be a co-owner? Because we believe you'll be one or the other. So we'll leave the door open for you for a little bit longer to get in and join the party. Now, let's have a quick look at some of the expos that we were recently at. Railway Tech in Indonesia, Future Cities in Dubai, major deals done there. We're constructing there today. Congress exhibit in Singapore, Inva Expo in Russia, where we revealed the electric car, and the InnoTrans in Germany, massive public transport expo where we revealed our high-speed train. Nobody knew this was coming. Big example of Skyway under-promising and over-delivering yet again. And this is Dr. Yanitsky hugging his dream. How cool is that? So you can actually become a co-owner of this technology, which will be built globally. So at this point, I'd like to introduce you to another true genius, our CEO, Andre Harato. He is a professional investor, a self-made multi-millionaire, the founder of Skyway Invest Group, us, the creator of the Academy of a Private Investor, which is a course teaching you how to become a professional investor. And he's a finance and investments business coach. Andre has a huge responsibility to help crowdfund for 2 testing facilities. These are to test and certify both cargo and transportation and passenger models so that we know they're safe to use. No matter what country you're from, this is the biggest global project we will ever be part of. This is Eco Techno Park, taken in August last year. They had an open day there where a couple of thousand people went there to see, feel, smell, touch and ride on the technology. Now, some of us were fortunate enough to be there last week, which was very exciting because I was one of them. It's built on 36 hectares of land in Belarus, and it's built 100% from crowdfunding. So we've got the rigid line, the semi-rigid line, the slack line, cargo solutions over the other side. And when we were there last week, there's a brand new line running all the way up the right-hand side of that track there. We actually walked all the way through there, up to the lake, and had a big barbecue up there with Anatoly and Andre in attendance. So the next one, Innovation Park. It's been built in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates on a 3-kilometre section of land opposite both the police academy and the university there. We have the photograph of the opening ceremony in November last year, a photograph with one of the sheets in front of the footings of the eco-friendly house. which is up to that stage as of a couple of weeks ago, so it's probably more advanced by now. We have the hoop route, where the unibus actually goes through the middle. We've got the anchor points either end. We've got another one here. Look at the computer-generated image. Does that look familiar? This track here, and the rectangular one running down the side of it. How cool is that? Now, this is a computer image of the hoop route. All right, you can see it running off into the distance with the line, and you can see all the hoops through the gap there. What does that look like? And here's the close-up shot of it. There it is in its glory in Jar Jar. The next one is the container moving solution. You can see here the building in the background, and you've got 4 or 5 U-shaped tracks coming out of that building. What does that look like to you? All right, so it's well and truly on the way as well. The next project of note, there is just been announced on Dubai TV that there is going to be a 15-kilometre long section of unibus running right up the middle of Dubai through their financial district. Now, if you want to see that, I've actually got a video of it on my YouTube channel. The next project of note is our first commercial project in Moscow. It will have 250 kilometres of track connecting 5 airports surrounding the city. It will be a highly profitable Skyway owned and operated project and a showcase to the world. It's also being crowdfunded, and there is the track running around the central CBD of Moscow. Now, let's have a look at the development of the Skyway technology through time. In 1978, Unitsky came up with the concept. In 2013-14, he decided, right, it's time to make this dream a reality. So he went out looking for joint venture partners, angel investors and billionaires to raise the funds to develop the technology. They all wanted 80 or 90% of the company, so he politely declined. Around the same time, one of Andre Hirato's students in the Academy of a Private Investor actually brought the Skyway technology to him as an investment opportunity. Andre put it through his 7-point check. Coincidentally, I've just uploaded that check from 4.5 years ago onto my YouTube channel. He got top marks in every category. So he sought out Dr. Unitsky to strike a deal, which in effect created the Skyway Invest Group to help crowdfund for the development of the technology. Back then, they set out a 15-stage development plan, which encompassed fundraising goals and technology advancements. They've actually, as you've seen, developed more technology and been more economical with the money, which has allowed them to do so. We are constructing in the United Arab Emirates as we speak, and the Moscow project is just around the corner. We are currently in stage 13.3 out of 15 stages. So we get to sneak in on discounts set out 4.5 years ago, right before technology adoption. Right, we have well over 300 agreements signed with over 17 countries around the world. So we have a lineup of contracts ready and waiting. We've raised well over $100 million of our goal of 200, and we're racing towards the finish line. And our technology is fully transferable, so it can be built concurrently all around the world, which is a big word for at the same time. So where are some of these initial projects going to be? Tanzania, Belarus, Ireland, Ukraine, Russia, obviously, Turkey, Italy, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Philippines, India, and Australia, just to name a few. There are many others. This gentleman here, Rod Hook, is the head of Skyway Australia. He will oversee all of the projects in Australia, the construction. I've met Rod. We had lunch one afternoon because he lives in Adelaide, my hometown. Now, he was recently added to the Infrastructure Australia board by the Australian government. Does that give you any indication what might be happening soon? India, we are having our 5th anniversary celebration in New Delhi in India. Now, we are not a new company. We've been around for almost 5 years now. And why India? Because we're going to implement the Unibus system within 15 cities surrounding India and ultimately connect them all with high-speed train. How cool is that? So for a moment, let's talk about education information products. Bear with me, there's a very special gift on the next slide, but this is the core of what Skyway Invest Group do. Active income on the left, passive income on the right. Our indoctrination system or education system existing says, go to school, get good grades, get a degree, work hard for 40 to 50 years and you'll have an awesome life. Now, I tried that. Doesn't work. All right. I was broke. I was living paycheck to paycheck. Right. I only got 2 years of the higher education tax from university because it was just coming in back then. It took me 10 years to pay off. Imagine what the kids have to put up with these days. They are indoctrinated into slavery day one. All right. People work for more like 50 years because they can't afford to retire. So unless they've been doing some investing on the other side of the fence, because people live paycheck to paycheck, that when they retire, they'll have limited funds to retire, 2, to enjoy them, and 3, to leave any kind of legacy for their family. On the other side of the fence, we teach you how to get to the business side, the passive income side of the quadrant, developing business and investments to leverage people's time and your money. What's on offer? Financial freedom, passive incomes. Now, people's idea of financial freedom is a little bit skewed. They dream of mansions, Lamborghinis, 50-foot yachts and private jets, but it's really not. If you can learn how to generate enough passive income with some change to cover your expenses existing, are you not financially free? Could you then work on business and investments to work on lifestyle after that? I suggest you can. Any day is a holiday on true time freedom. How do you think I live in the Philippines without having to be an engineer anymore? And we're also creating generational wealth. Now, the education packages, we'll give you a couple of examples to explain how it works. The $100 pack, for example, $50 of that gets sent to Skyway for our crowdfunding efforts. In return, comes back 2,500 pre-IPO private equity shares as a gift or a head start to your portfolio. So what does all this mean? Pre means before, IPO means initial public offering, and in our case, it will be on the London Stock Exchange. And private equity shares just means that you own part of the Skyway Technology Company. Right? The next one, $710 pack. 355 goes to Skyway, back comes 24,145 pipes. I'd have to check that number. I think it might be incorrect, right? And the third one is the $1,000 pack. 500 goes to Skyway, back comes 35,000 equity shares, all right? Can you see that the number of equity shares jumps up at the $1,000 level? It's like Costco. The more you buy, the bigger the discount, right? So while we're here, our crypto unit club, which we're about to describe, needs a qualifying purchase in the Skyway Technology education packages. If you buy the $10 pack, it'll now enable you to buy the bottom 2 packages in the Skyway Technology. The next package, the $100 pack, allows you to buy the lowest 6 packages, and the $710 pack allows you to buy all of the packages in the remaining stages. So how do we actually make money from equity shares? Every company's goal is to grow both in assets and profitability. As the company does so, the value of the stock or the shares increases in price, which leads to profits and dividends for co-owners and shareholders, us. So let's give you a real-world example. Microsoft. If you got in on Microsoft at 10 cents per share when they first floated on the stock exchange, they're over $100 today. That's 1,000 times your money in a real world example. So how do you find out how to learn and how to find opportunities like this? You need to be educated. So the education in our back office teaches you how to do this. And if you want the advanced course, do one of the Master Profit courses when it's run in a city near you. Absolutely go and do it. So opportunities like Skyway are usually only reserved for the elite, the people with all the money. The way it unfolded, i.e. it became crowdfunded, gave us, the mums and dads of the world, a chance. As a Skyway Technology co-owner, you'll benefit from annual dividends. These will be paid quarterly. Now, this will happen after we float on the London Stock Exchange in a year or so's time. Right? But as a Skyway Invest Group partner, we will also benefit from dividends or loyalty bonuses now from our global investment portfolio. So let's have a look at that. Our portfolio, this is a photograph taken of the big screen in Malaysia at the event which I was at. This is Igor Romanenko. He is our portfolio manager, and he has a team of people researching investment opportunities around the world on a daily basis. Back in 2014, Andre Hirato knew that at some point, the 15th stage of development would be reached by the Skyway technology and no longer need any further crowdfunding. So he knew that we would need an instrument to move forward and promote. So he plucked 26% of $26,000 of the company's profits, right? Instead of sticking them in his own pocket, which he had every right to do, he actually started an investment portfolio for us. He then applied the strategies they teach and invested that money over the next 4.5 years, turned it into $10.759 million. That's a 41,281% capitalisation. Now, if you average that over the number of days, that's 26% per day. For the mathematicians, that's not compounding. It's just an average. We have a very diversified portfolio. It's spread out over the 21 different investment instruments in the investing industry. Let's have a look at some of them. Real estate in Tagnarog in Russia. We actually have land in Phuket, Thailand as well, where we're going to build a resort. We have over 600 million Skyway shares, cryptocurrency holdings and several coins. We have Berkshire Hathaway shares, Warren Buffett's company, Visa, MasterCard, Facebook, Twitter, FedEx. All right, we have investments in the energy industry, the banking sector. We have cash investments and reserves. And we have 50% ownership in a gold mine. How cool is that? And we just found out we actually have a diamond mine as well, and we are going to mechanically produce diamonds up to 10 and 20 carats in size, both for jewellery and sale to mining companies for their diamond head drill bits and such. All right, our crypto unit club. We'll start by what it's not. Many people would have heard the term ICO, an initial coin offering. Now, this is an unregulated industry where all you need effectively is a coin on the blockchain, a scratched up website, a white paper, and a story. Now, the story could be as simple as, we are going to disrupt the banking industry by having unlimited international transactions 24 hours a day. And people go, oh, wow, that sounds great. We're going to invest a lot of money in the hope that it actually reaches an exchange one day, the price spikes up and they can sell the coin at an extreme profit and solve all of their financial problems. Now, don't get me wrong, there are good ICOs, but in many cases, unscrupulous people have launched ICOs, collected the money and run away with it, leaving people burnt, dismayed, disappointed, and worse off financially than they initially were. So here's the point. We are not an ICO. We are in the pre-launch of a security token offering. Security being the operative word. It means there is an underlying asset. The asset backing our crypto unit security token is the investment portfolio we've just described. It's had an average growth of 26% per day over the last 4.5 years. Do you believe that trend will continue? Absolutely. What will that do to the price of the token? It will grow insanely, okay? We have a 3-phase rollout. The first phase is an internal launch within Skyway Invest Group. We get first bite of the cherry. We're getting rewarded for being ambassadors for the SWIG brand. If you join during this period, you'll start to get rewarded for being becoming an ambassador. Right, we are currently in stage 4 out of 8 stages. The top 4 packages in our 4th stage launch sold out in less than 10 minutes. There is a high demand on our product. We have the second phase is our global merchandising phase, where financial advisors will be able to sell this product to their databases. It will hit the cryptocurrency exchanges, and our crypto unit ATMs will be rolled out across the planet. Right, the next one is when we launch on the stock exchange, fully SEC verified and licensed. This is scheduled to start on the 15th of October. 2019, this year, coincidentally during the India event. All right, now in the global merchandising phase and the stock exchange phase, they will release small parcels of tokens. There will be a buying frenzy. The price will jump up. Every dollar spent acquiring these tokens, 65% of it will be tipped back into our investment portfolio, growing it significantly in size. We are talking billions of dollars. Now, with the growth of our portfolio, we can afford to pull out 5 to 25% of that growth and pay it back to the token owners as a loyalty bonus. These were going to begin in August this year, but as of the 8th of June, we actually received our second loyalty bonus 3 and 4 months early. How cool is that? For a moment, now, what we have on offer is ongoing, increasing monthly passive income that will last for the life of the investment portfolio. This portfolio is rigged to last for generations, so it will see you out. You'll be able to will it onto your children and them to theirs. Is that not what everybody is looking for? Mic drop, walk off stage, right? For a moment, let's talk about the US dollar. Back in 1971, Richard Nixon removed the gold standard from the US dollar, which in effect caused every currency around the world to become a fiat currency. Every fiat currency in history has returned to its intrinsic value of zero. Guess what's going to happen to all the currencies around the world at some point? If you are not ready for this, you will get wiped out. When that happened, banks and governments were allowed to conjure money up out of thin air, and they've been doing so in the trillions. And you wonder why it's hard to get by, because the buying power of your dollar is being diluted by the minute. Back before 1971, you could walk in with your money and exchange it for gold in the bank. Gold is a brilliant store of value. Imagine if you had, if you could buy a chariot with a bar of gold in the Roman days, and now you can buy a car. If you had these 4 shiny bars of gold on your kitchen bench, apart from going yay, right, could you create 20 bars of gold of the same size without buying it, digging it up out of your back garden, or hijacking the golden goose? You can't, can you? Because it's a finite amount of a precious metal. This is why banks and governments hate it, because they can't print it like they can with currency. On the other side of the fence, our portfolio literally can produce 20 bars of gold because we own a gold mine. I hope you understand that. Now, as token holders, we are part owners in this gold mine, the diamond mine, all the equity shares, the land holdings, the Skyway shares. Do you get the point? This asset grows in value, not just price like gold does. All right, so moving on. What's coming in the future? In our global merchandising phase, we are going to roll out a whole series of ATMs. This is the lovely Brenda, a manager in our team, showcasing the one that was on display on stage in Minsk last week. We were given a real-time example of how it works. We actually have one of these installed already in a shopping centre in Estonia. Now, these are being installed 8 months early. We are part owners in these machines. They will yield at least $500 per day per machine. Now, you imagine when we roll out 10,000 of these things, you know, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars profit per month, right? Now, here's where we're going to talk about the new economic evolution of the world. It may sound corny when you first hear it, but once you understand the magnitude and where our movement is going, you'll drop everything to be part of it. Now, we are all cashed up. We could buy a region of land 200 kilometres away from Sydney, Melbourne, London, New York. We can build a green living futuristic city from scratch where we are part owners in everything. The land, the walkways, the housing, the towers, the schools, hospitals, shopping centres, coffee shops, florists, the interconnecting unibuses and the high-speed trains running back to the major metropolitan cities. Here's the point. Whenever someone buys the land, we get paid. Goes to the coffee shop, we get paid. Goes to school, we get paid. Goes to the doctor, we get paid. Catches the unibus, we get paid. Catches the high-speed train, we get paid. Do you understand where this is going? There will be many other future projects. We already have gold mines, diamond production mechanically, petrol stations or fuel stations or gas stations, wherever you are in the world. Right? We have the ability to get 50% discount on our fuel. And we can be co-owners in the supply chain. Right? Imagine being co-owners in BP, for example. All right? Now, there will also be real estate deals, right? Individual Skyway projects, you name it, there will be many different projects that we can profit from in the future. Now, you can actually earn your financial freedom passively. You can get in, acquire education packages and accumulate equity shares in the Skyway technology and tokens in global investment portfolio. Sit back and wait and earn, and you can make an absolute fortune. But you can actually share this life-changing opportunity with others, right? So that they have the same opportunity you've got. You can actually earn commissions and bonus tokens along with other passive income streams for doing so. All right. I feel obligated myself to share with this with the people I love because I don't want them to be left behind. Now you can actually start, it's very easy to get started. Grab the link from the person who has invited you, fill out the form and do your verification. We have lots of different groups. We've got news groups for those who want to just invest and watch, keep their ear to the ground. If you want to accidentally build a team by sharing it with a couple of people here and there, we can help you with that. And if you want to build a team on purpose, like many of us, not only will your efforts be compounded significantly, but we have the support and training to help you do that. We want you to become a professional investor, both inside and outside of SWIG, so that we can all create massive passive income streams and reach our financial freedom. And in turn, help others reach theirs. Because it's no fun doing it on your own, so we can get out there and start doing what we love and follow our passion. We are leaving a legacy for your family, right? This investment portfolio that we are tapping into is rigged to last for generations. All right, you will be willing this onto your children and them to theirs, right? Because we all die twice, don't we? First, when we leave this mortal coil, and second, when your family stops speaking your name. Here's your chance to live on in your family's history as the one that set up that Skyway thing all those years ago to allow them to have the freedom they have today. All right. So on that, that's